Welcome to day 2 of Crush It on Kajabi in 10 days. 10 days to 10K on Kajabi. I am so excited to be jumping in this today with you. We are going to talk about how to determine your business idea. How are you going to structure your business? What are you going to structure it around? What are you going to talk about? What kind of products are you going to make? And what is going to be your particular unique topic or niche? We are very, very excited about this because this is one of the most important things to decide early on in your business what your business is actually going to be about. We are live, and so if you're watching this right now, be sure to leave a comment and let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what you're hoping to get out of today's content. If you're watching this later on, you might want to skip ahead about 5 minutes where we'll be getting into the content. So let's see who is here. Zan the Man says, day 2, let's go. He also says, where's Hendrix? Here he is. Let's see. He's right back there. Hey, Hendrix. There he is. There's the doggy. He's like, why did you get me up? There he is. Now I'm finally out of the way. Hey, buddy. What's up? You want to say hi? Yeah, he's keeping us company. Eric Williams says, hello from SoCal. Nice. I bet it's a beautiful day there in Southern California. Welcome. We're going to let some more people hop on. And if you're here but haven't jumped in the chat yet, let us know where you're watching from and what you're hoping to get out of it. I am in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Let's see. Nash Vegas, woot woot. Peter H is in Nash Vegas. Very cool. Very cool. Lane, with that shirt, you must live in Florida. Yes, I am now Florida man. That's my new thing. I'm Florida man. So you'll be reading news stories about me soon, I guess. But yes, Santa Rosa Beach. That's me. Love hearing people jumping in the chat. As people are joining and jumping in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. Also want to invite you to download my free super simple guide. It's a great companion to what we're talking about on these lives. It's totally free. You can find it at lanesebring.com/super simple. And as we are talking about Kajabi, I want you to jump into Kajabi using my link right now through the end of August. If you use my link, you get your first 3 months of Kajabi for $99. That is an incredible discount. And what that allows you to do is it allows you a head start, kind of a running head start to get on Kajabi and get your business up and going and get your first product or products built out before you start paying the full price of Kajabi, which is also a great deal. But 3 months for $99 with my link. You also get my 45-minute one-on-one Zoom call. You get the Kajabi Accelerator course, and you get my course email template. All that is yours as a way of saying thank you for using my link, because it is an affiliate link. So I do get a small commission when you use it. lanesebring.com/Kajabi is where to get that information. So with that said, welcome to 10 days to 10K on Kajabi. Let's look at some comments. Maria's here too. Greetings to everybody. Love it. Love it. Welcome. Let's see, how close are you to Graham? So he's in Tampa. I'm in Santa Rosa Beach. It's about 6 hours. Florida's a big state, covers a lot of ground. Hello from Colorado, John Dillon. Love it. That's a cool profile picture. I like that. Or thumbnail, whatever it is. Playing guitar. Very cool. Does your niche have something to do with music, or is it going to have something to do with music? I'm just curious. I keep planning to pick the guitar back up at some point. I used to play. Not very skilled, but used to play just a little bit, and I would love to get back into it. So yeah, again, if you have not yet, let us know where you are watching from, what you're hoping to get out of today. Again, we're going to talk about your business idea, how to determine it, how to make sense of it, how to know if it's going to be profitable, all of that. John says, maybe I have too many niches. Well, that is a great segue into what we're going to talk about today, because we're going to talk about how to narrow down your niche or niche into something that is going to be a profitable idea. One more from Zan. You and Graham should do a YouTube collab. Just saying, I would love that. If he was down for that, I'd totally do it. And I'll have to ask him. All right, so let's go here. And again, welcome to 10 days to 10K on Kajabi. Let's go ahead and jump into today's content. If you're ready, say I'm ready in the comments. Just jump down there and say I'm ready. That'll make me feel really good. So go ahead and say I'm ready if you're ready, and then we'll jump down there and do it. Today is day 2. It is your business idea. Your business idea. I want to mention, when I was first starting, as we're getting into this, when I was first starting, I had I didn't know the first time. All right, good. John says I'm ready. Eric says I'm ready. Peter H says I'm ready. Good. I love it. I love to know that we're ready to go. When I was first starting in my online business, this was 8 years ago, my first online business. First of all, I didn't know that I was starting an online business. It wasn't something that I even knew was a thing yet. At the time, I was just starting a blog, which turned into an online business, and now a very successful one that has been great for my family and I, and it serves a lot of people. But at the time, I was just starting a blog, and at that time, I knew that there was a whole lot of people who were in the space that I was in. So I was a church leader, I was a pastor. There was a lot of people blogging and writing at the time about leadership, church leadership, things like that. And so I wanted to contribute to that space, but I didn't want to just get lost in a sea of everything else. And plus, everything that had been said about leadership had been said. I didn't have anything valuable to add that I felt like I could give to that topic. So I actually just started blogging about preaching, and not only blogging about preaching in particular, but how to communicate well when you preach. So not even like the content of your sermon, but how you deliver it. And then I started realizing that the people I was going after and the people I wanted to find my content were people who were looking for more creative ways to deliver messages than what they might have just been taught in seminary, which was like a master's program for pastors that I had gotten my seminary degree and all of that kind of stuff. And I started to realize I have an opportunity here to actually narrow who I'm speaking to. And as I did that, it was kind of experimental. Now I know it to be good practice, but at the time it was just experimental. I thought, what if I narrow this down to something that is very, very particular? I wonder if that would grow it faster. And it worked, because that's how it works. If you're talking to everybody, you're really talking to nobody. One of the reasons why on this channel, on my personal brand on Lane Sebring, I focus on Kajabi in particular, is because while I welcome anybody who's trying to start an online business, I want to be the person who is the go-to resource for everything you need to know on Kajabi, getting started on Kajabi, building your business on Kajabi. And as I do that, I can provide courses along the way to help grow your business in the context of doing it this way. So those are a couple of lessons that I have learned about when you're determining an idea. It's really, really helpful to narrow down. And what I want to do is I want to walk you through a set of questions to ask. And this is just one of the things that I take anybody through that I'm coaching. As you're thinking about your business idea, there's a set of questions that you need to ask yourself. Some of this, if you might be watching this and you might already have your niche determined. Even if that's the case, it's still helpful to go through these questions, because what you might find is that either the niche that you've determined is not something that really lights your fire, right? You should pick something else. Or the niche that you're working on isn't in demand in the market, so it may not be profitable, or any number of the things above. Or maybe it just goes to confirm that the idea that you have is rock solid and it's the one that you should run with. Whatever the case, these questions will help you make that determination. So let's read through these questions and let's get going here. Number 1, what hobby or interest is unique to you? What hobby or interest is unique to you? So what are the things that you are doing, like a hobby, or interested in, okay, that is something that maybe not everybody around you does or is interested in. Could be fishing, could be fitness, could be some kind of craft that you do. It could be video games. It could be gardening. It could be coding on a computer. It could be designing websites. It could be any number of things that is just kind of your thing. It really lights your fire. It interests you, and it's unique. And when I say unique, I don't mean you're the only one interested in it, because you can always find a community of people, especially online, who are interested in a similar topic. But it's unique to you, especially among the people that you live with and live around. It's not something that everybody does, but it's unique to you. All right. Here's another question to ask. What topic could you talk about for hours? This is a really, really important aspect of determining an online business topic, because you are going to talk about this thing for days and days and hours and years to come. Absolutely, there's no way I could have made Preaching Donkey what it is if I wasn't passionate about both pastors and their churches and the way they lead and the way they preach. There's just no way I could continue talking about it if I wasn't passionate about helping people start and grow successful online businesses that free them up because of the life-changing passive income they can create for themselves. There's no way that I could continue doing my Lane Sebring brand. You have to be passionate about it. And those two topics are something that I could talk about and do talk about for hours and hours and hours. Anybody who wants to talk to me about business knows I'll talk shop. I'll sit up and talk shop all night if you want, about your business idea, what you want to do, how you want to structure it. Love talking about that. So what is the thing that you could talk about and you find yourself talking about easily and for long periods of time without it being an issue for you? You don't get bored. You don't lose interest. There's always something more to think about, always something more to kind of to uncover. You just love to talk about it. Next question. What do people come to you about for advice? What do people come to you about? What do they say? Oh, you're the person, you're the guy, you're the girl that when I have a question about trying to get my kid to sleep through the night, my 2-month-old kid won't sleep, you're the person I go to. Or you're the person I go to try to figure out how to get my dog to follow simple commands. Maybe you're great at dog training. Or gosh, you're the person I go to when I can't figure out how to get the weeds out of my lawn. I've done everything I can. I just don't know what to do. Or you're the person I go to when I want to lose 10 pounds and keep it off. What do people come to you and you're the person that they say, if we have this problem, this is the person who will solve it. That is when you know that you're on to something that could be incredibly powerful for a business idea. If any of these, by the way, relate to you at all, or if they're starting to make your wheels turn a little bit, let me know in the comments what you're thinking so far. And we'll do some Q&A at the end, but I'm happy to do Q&A all throughout this live. Next, what valuable skill or information could you easily teach others about? What valuable skill or information could you easily teach others about? The reason why this is so important is because you want to take something that is a valuable skill, meaning that it's something that what makes it value is that people want to learn it. That's what makes it valuable. It's not necessarily something that a lot of times people think that you have to create online businesses around things that make other people money if you want them to be successful. That's not what valuable means in this case, although that does work. But a valuable skill, the value of that skill is really just determined by, will people pay to learn about it? And people will pay to learn how to do their hobby or interest better, regardless of whether it ever makes them any more money. This is why non-professional, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine. He is not a pro golfer, okay? He loves to golf, but he does not make a dime from golfing. I don't know. He's probably pretty good. I've never golfed with him because we live in different states, but he has spent a lot of money on a coach, a swing coach, to help him swing his golf club better. And he spent, I think to this point, thousands of dollars on a coach to help him swing so he can do a hobby better. A hobby that's only going to cost him money. It's never going to make him money. So that swing coach, I don't know who that swing coach is, but that's a perfect example of someone who does in-person swing coaching for thousands of dollars. He probably, if he wanted to, could do content about it online. He could sell online courses about it. He could make a ton of money by scaling that skill, which is just teaching a hobby to most people who are just hobbyists and will never, ever use that skill to make money. So valuable doesn't mean that you're teaching a monetizable skill. It just means that people want it. So do you have a valuable skill? In other words, people want to learn about it. They're interested in it enough. They're fired up about it. And when you talk about it, they want to know. They want to learn about it. So what's the valuable skill or information? So again, there's the skill, like here's how to do something. There's also information. People will pay for information. Here's what you need to know in order to achieve said goal. Information could be teaching them about a skill. It could also be teaching them mindset, could be teaching them how to think differently, how to kind of view their life or their circumstances differently. It could be kind of mental work, that kind of thing. People will pay to learn things that are valuable to them. So do you have a valuable skill or valuable information that you can easily teach others about? And here's what I mean about easily. I mean that if somebody asks you just a simple question, let's say you're that golf instructor and somebody goes to you and says, I'm having some trouble. I'm slicing my swings. I've tried everything. Well, what do you suggest? It's easy for you to go, well, let me see your swing. And they swing. And then you say, well, here's what you're doing. Here's what I would suggest. Try this, try that. Easy. For me, if somebody sends me a sermon that they've preached and they say, hey, can you take a look at this and tell me some things I could do better? Within 2 minutes of watching that video, I've already got a list of 10 things. Because I'm looking at a lot of things that maybe other people don't even see. The environment, the atmosphere, the way they carry themselves, the eye contact they make, the hand gestures, the way their voice sounds, the tone, the way they present the material, the way they walk into the room, the way they handle their notes. All of that stuff just rolls off my tongue, and it's easy to teach others about that. So what is that skill that you have that you could easily teach others about? And it's valuable for them to understand and know. They want to know about it, or someone out there wants to know. And that's the beauty of online business. Not everybody has to care, right? You can narrow it down very, very narrow and still reach a lot of people. You can still reach thousands of people, even if it's a very narrow, specific niche. So what valuable skill information could you easily teach others about? We got a comment here. If there was a problem, okay. Okay, so I'll tell you a funny story, Eric. When I said that, that's exactly what I was thinking. And and I was about to quote that song. It was on the tip of my tongue. That's why I paused for a second. And then I kept going because I didn't want to lose my train of thought. And I didn't know if anybody would catch the reference. So, wow, I love that. That's awesome. If there's a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. All right. Okay, so let's review. So far, we've talked about what hobby or interest is unique to you. What could you talk about for hours? And what do people come to you about for advice? And then what valuable skill or information could you easily teach others about? So those are some simple questions, and there might be more that would be helpful. Essentially what we're going after is, what are you interested in / what experiences have you had / what knowledge do you have that's unique and particular to you that maybe not everybody shares? Now, I will say that it is very common for people to have a unique skill and not know it, or have a unique set of experiences and not know it. And the reason why is something that is called the curse of knowledge. And this is something, before we move on with kind of more things to consider with your niche, is that you have to realize that once you know something, once you know a skill, once you have an experience, once you know and understand some information or how our process works, it's almost impossible for you to remember what it's like to not know that thing. It's very difficult for you to put yourself in the shoes of someone who doesn't have the information or knowledge that you have. And the reason why is because in our minds, we have moved so far past the basics of this that it seems pedantic and pedestrian and mundane to even bring those things up. And so sometimes we can think people already know all this. Everybody in my field, everybody in my industry, they all know this. They've all experienced this. They all get it. And the truth is they haven't. They don't. They don't know what you know. They haven't experienced what you've experienced. I have seen this in both of my businesses and in everybody that I've coached, that if you really hone in on a particular skill or topic or idea, and you begin to make content about it, you will find that not everybody knows what you know about that topic. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's normal because you're the expert, or you're the one. If the word expert scares you, just consider it like you're the content creator. So you should have an edge on it. But where this comes against us is the curse of knowledge, where we think, oh, this is so commonplace. No one's going to care. No one's going to want to know this information. Everybody's just going to say, oh, ha, ha, ha. Like everybody, like you're just stating the obvious. And the truth is that just doesn't happen. The vast majority of people are not experts in your niche. They're common people who want to know what you know and appreciate when you simplify things so that they are easy to understand. I heard Graham Cochran say one time that where there is overwhelm, there is opportunity. So if people in the topic that you're in are overwhelmed with all the information coming at them and all the competing things, I think about fitness with this, right? Think about how many different philosophies there are to lose body fat and gain muscle and have a healthy diet, lifestyle, physique. So much information, so much contradictory information, so many things to do I believe this or do I go with that? Lots of overwhelm. People become overwhelmed because of all the information and all the complexity coming at them. Where there is overwhelm, there is opportunity, because you have a chance to now step into that complexity, step into that overwhelm, and provide solutions that simplify and provide clarity. And so don't ever lose the fact that you, even though it seems so commonplace to you, it might just be the thing that someone needs. And you might just be the person to provide that information to them in a way that is life-changing and transformative. So let's look at some comments here before we move on. Let's see. Professional actor. I teach I gotta learn how to read. I teach theatrical improv to help with creativity, spontaneity, communication, confidence, and trusting other instincts, but especially for fun and laughs. I love that. That is an awesome niche. And there's so much there. And there's so many applications for that. I would imagine you wouldn't have to be an actor to benefit from that, because I'm looking at this as a content creator and a public speaker, and I'm thinking, wow, creativity, spontaneity, communication, confidence, and trusting instincts. That sounds, I want to learn. So yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. I love it. Let's see. We're all experts in something. Yes, John, 100%. We all are. And the thing that we are expert in is usually the thing that we don't give ourselves credit for being expert in. Absolutely. All right, so we left it here. What valuable skill information could you teach others? Now, here's what I want you to do. Make a list under each topic of potential ideas you can make content on. Pay attention to which ideas come easily, which ideas are you most excited about, and then narrow it, cut off, and I didn't catch that, but narrow it down to one or two main ideas that you love the most. So take the answer to all those questions. So what are your what hobby or interest is unique to you? Make a list of those things. What topic could you talk about for hours? What do people come to you about for advice? What valuable skill information could you easily teach others about? Take all of those, make a list under each one that you could possibly make content on. This doesn't mean that you will make content on. It just means that you could if you wanted to, or it would work, or it's an idea that you're at least interested in. And pay careful attention to the ones that come easily. Which ideas are you most excited about teaching others? Circle those, narrow it down to one or two, and you're kind of getting close to where you need to be able to get to make a decision. Let's go back to the comments here. Right, I gear it toward non-actors. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. I'm wondering, Gil, are you on Kajabi yet? Like, how far along is this business? I'm just curious if you've jumped on yet, and if you've started making content, courses, things like that. I'd love to know. Okay, so here's one thing I want to make sure that you understand. We all can understand this together. People are not searching online for generalized help from generalized help from people with multiple interests, right? Nobody goes to Google and says, I would like to find some general help from people who have a multiplicity of, they're just kind of, you're every person. They just love everything. They just want to be, they're interested in so many things they can't decide. No, they are looking for specific help for a specific problem. If your content is for everyone, it is for no one. If you're writing to everybody, you're writing to nobody. You have to determine what is the specific problem that your content is going to solve. So we started out looking at hobbies and interests, right? What are you interested in? What's unique to you? What do people come to you for advice about? What's the valuable skill or information you could easily teach? So we went from the level of kind of hobby and talking and interest to what do people actually come to you for advice about, to what is valuable. So if you see, there's a little bit of a narrowing that's already happening. And now we're looking at this question of what is the specific problem that your content is going to solve. When it comes to Preaching Donkey, my problem that I'm solving is a lack of confidence. When preachers have a lack of confidence in their ability to connect and communicate with an audience, to capture them, to kind of bring them in and hold their attention and call them to some kind of next step or life change. When they lack the confidence and ability to do that, it's a major problem for them. So that's what my content is helping to solve. That's the problem I solve. I solve it in a lot of ways, but that is the main thing I'm going for, is helping them to be confident when preaching and everything that goes into it. When it comes to this brand, Lane Sebring, I am solving the problem of people who want to take their knowledge and expertise and skill, and they want to create some kind of online business around it. But there are so many tools, so many pieces of software, so many ways to go about it. And there's so many time wasters. There's so many things that you can do that don't actually grow an audience, don't put money in your pocket, don't grow your business. And so there's a tendency for people to kind of go, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't have all kinds of time. I don't want to waste all kinds of time and all kinds of money. My problem that I'm solving is helping those people find a clear, simple path. It's one of the reasons why I like to use the idea of simplicity. That's one of the reasons why I talk about my super simple guide at lanesebring.com/super simple, because it is a simple path to get from your idea to a profitable online business that eventually replaces your full-time income and provides you and your family with a great life. So you got to remember, and you got to determine what is the specific help that your content is going to provide. Let's check out a comment here. I'm a Christian and want to save my marriage. Great. Yeah, it looks like your content is about marriage and family. So that's awesome. And MFT, that's marriage and family therapy, if I'm right. So that's awesome. Yeah, I think there's a whole lot of help that you can provide in the marriage and family space. Let me give you an idea formula. Your knowledge plus your passion plus demand equals a profitable idea. Let's break this down. Your knowledge. I'm going to lump knowledge in with experience and expertise. I mean, basically, your knowledge comes from the set of experiences that make up your life. So as you expand your knowledge in a given area, your ability to teach and to communicate that knowledge becomes greater and greater. But you have to have some kind of knowledge from your expertise, from your experience, from your study. That's your knowledge. Plus your passion, right? So knowledge without passion, like you're knowledgeable about it, but you don't care about it. That doesn't work. You actually have to care about it. You have to have some kind of passion for it. You can't be bored with it, because you're going to talk about this for the next, like every week for the next several years, if you want this kind of business to grow into something that's life changing in terms of the people you help and the money you make. It has to be something you're passionate about, and it can't be something that you just kind of are doing just because you can make some money. You got to be passionate. So your knowledge plus passion plus demand. In other words, there has to be a demand for this kind of information. You can have a lot of knowledge of it and a lot of passion for it, and there's no demand for it. One of my business mentors jokes around about how much he loves pizza and donuts, and he knows a lot about pizza and donuts, but if people paid him, there's no one, he can be as knowledgeable as he wants about pizza and donuts and as passionate as he wants about eating pizza and donuts, but there is no demand for watching him eat pizza and donuts. There's just not. So it does not equal a profitable idea. You need all three: your knowledge plus your passion plus a demand. So again, going back to my example of preaching donkey, my knowledge about preaching and communication is very vast, given my background, my experience as a preacher, my training in communication. So I've got that down. My passion, I love pastors. I love church leadership. I want to see churches grow and do well. I want to see them thrive. So there's lots of passion there. And there's a demand for it, because there's a whole lot of pastors that are very frustrated and don't feel the confidence they need to communicate well. So knowledge, passion, demand equal a profitable idea. In this business, my knowledge in online business goes back years and years with a ton of experimentation. I tried everything over these last 8 years and finally found a clear, simple path that has grown my business to multiple six figures and hopefully soon beyond. So there is the knowledge. There's a ton of passion, because it's been life-changing for me to have this kind of business. It has set me completely free financially. It's set me free time-wise. I am truly, like, it sounds cliche, but I am truly living the dream, and I'm nothing special. Anybody can do this. Your knowledge, okay, my knowledge of business plus my passion for it, plus demand. There's lots of people who are overwhelmed. They want to take their knowledge and skill and make something out of it online. It's confusing. There's a lot of moving parts, and I want to provide clarity and simplicity to them and give them a clear path. Knowledge plus passion plus demand equal a profitable idea. So as you are testing your idea, you have to think about, okay, what am I knowledgeable about? What am I passionate about? And is there a demand for it? If all three of those things line up, then it's a profitable idea. So take your list that you did, where you narrowed down to the things that you're really interested in, and put them under this test. Am I knowledgeable about it? Am I passionate about it? Is there a demand for it? Those three things are the most important stuff. Let's see. Mark says, yes. Eric, I've been a youth pastor for 30 years. I want to help youth pastors have a greater impact on the students they serve by giving them practical youth ministry tools. I love that. That's awesome, Eric. I just wonder if churches will spend money on courses. Yes, I can tell you they will. They'll spend a lot of money. In fact, one of the ways that I like to think about it is, think about how many churches will send their entire student ministry team to a student ministry conference and spend thousands of dollars on the tickets, and on travel and meals for a 3-day conference, when you could provide them a course for $300 that they could take together as a team. So there's ways to look at it like that. But yes, there's, even just in the United States, there's 350,000 churches, and almost all of them want to do what they do better. Let's see. Went through a divorce and developed a program to save marriages. Love that. I love that, because, that so many online businesses come out of your own pain and your own experience. And that's some of the ones that work the best, when you're able to say, hey, I went through this, and now I want to help others to either avoid this pain or achieve the success, or both. So that's awesome. This has been a lot of fun today. So just to recap, your idea has to be your knowledge plus your passion plus demand. So the kind of homework for today is to take that list that you've narrowed down, put it under this test, and by tomorrow you should have something decided. One of the things that I love that Alex Hormozi says is that sometimes people will have multiple ideas, multiple niches, too many things. And he says, pick one. And the reason, actually, he uses a expletive to make his point, which I won't do, but he just says, pick one, because the thing is, any niche will work. If it meets this criteria, you know enough about it, you're passionate enough about it, and it's in demand, it will work. So many people get paralyzed by the deciding. I don't know, should I do this or should I do that? So then sometimes they'll try to do both, and then both are not really as good as they could be. Pick something, go with it long enough to grow it, and then if you want to add something later, you can. But that's your homework. Your knowledge plus your passion plus demand equals a profitable idea. So what is that for you? Can I ask a logistical question? Yeah, maybe later after I'm done. You can ask any logistical questions you want, my man. Want to mention a couple things as we're looking into where we're going to go for the next few days. So you're going to do that. So we're going to talk about what's coming up. So tomorrow we're going to get into your business infrastructure. This is we're going to get into your website, lead magnet, landing page, email, those kind of things. Also, I want to mention this. If you have not looked into lanesebring.com/insiders, I'm about to do another round of insiders, which is my private coaching community. It lasts for 8 weeks. It's limited to 7 people. It's apply only. You can apply at lanesebring.com/insiders. It starts in September. It starts in about a month and it goes for 8 weeks. We meet live on Zoom. We have it's a mastermind, but it also has hot seats. It's amazing. Here's what one of my former students said. After the Insiders program and working with Lane, my channel is quickly growing. I'm about to launch my paid content, and I'm in negotiations for a 5-figure brand deal with a company in my vertical. This was easily one of the best decisions I've made in the last 10 years. That's Alex Witherow, the founder of Car Rental University. And he started that in the same group that Zan, the man, was in with Insiders, which is pretty cool. Zan is on here as well. So look into that if you haven't yet, lanesebring.com/insiders. If you're not currently on Kajabi, this is the time to get on there. Go to lanesebring.com/Kajabi. Join using my link. You get the 3 months of Kajabi for $99. And by the way, if you're watching this after the fact, like if you're watching this after August of 2022, the 30-day trial is always available. So you can go on there and get the 30-day trial, and everything else I'm mentioning you'll still get. 45-minute call with me, Kajabi Accelerator course, and the $25,000 course launch email template. That's all there. But if you're watching live and you're not on Kajabi yet, it is the time to do it, because you're going to get 3 months for $99 if you join right now using my link. Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right. I don't see any other legit comments except Zan the Man. Love Alex, such a great person. It's awesome. Yeah. Well, okay. So if there are no other comments, thank you all for being here today. I am so pumped about tomorrow. We're going to get into the infrastructure building. It's going to be awesome. Until then, be sure to check out lanesebring.com/insiders and lanesebring.com/Kajabi. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central. See you then.